Whenever I'm hiking in the mountains, I always bring a drone for some FPV mountain surfing. Most of the time, it's one of my 5-inch filming rigs. They're great for quick mid-range flights, but not exactly efficient. So I decided it was finally time to build my first 7-inch cinematic cruiser. For this build, I got to try some parts from SEQURE. You probably know them for their soldering kits, but they also make FPV components. And honestly, I've never used their gear before, so I was really curious to see how it would perform. First up, the Blueson A2 4-in-1 ESC, rated for up to 8S and 70 amp continuous current. I'm running 6S for this build, so this ESC is more than enough. It feels premium, well built, and I love the angled motor pads. They make for a much cleaner build. The package also includes all the usual extras you might need. An XT60 wiring kit, capacitor, wires, everything to get you up and running. Paired with it is the SEQURE 743 flight controller. Again, high quality feel and smart design. Dual mounting patterns, plenty of UARTs, plug-in connectors, dual BEC outputs, a barometer, and a 16 MB black box. Definitely a capable board with a lot of bells and whistles. SEQURE also sent me their dual RX ExpressLRS True Diversity receiver, perfect for a long-range build I'm aiming for. It's not the smallest receiver out there, but that's nothing to worry about when it sits in a 7-inch drone and it feels like a solid choice. It has dual antenna mounts, comes with 2 diversity antennas, and overall feels really well made. For GPS, I went with their M10 18mm module. It looks pretty standard at first glance, but more on that later. The rest of the build, Emax Eco 3 2807 13,000 kV motors, DJI-03 air unit, and a 7-inch Apex frame from Impulse RC. I'll spare you the build montage. My soldering isn't exactly cinematic, but the end result, I think it came out pretty great. Before flying, I had local pilot Ikud work his PID tuning magic. During tuning, we dropped the RPM filter min from 100 Hz to 80 Hz to clear up some motor noise and hover, something you don't usually need on smaller quads. High frequencies look clean, so we bumped the low-pass gyro filter multiplier to 1.3. We also raised RPM Q to 1000 in small steps, which cut down on delay without losing filtering performance. The quad didn't produce much noise at double RPM, so we set the weights to 100, 20, 100. For P and D balance, the default gains caused some overshoot. The sweet spot ended up being P at 0.75 and D at 1. Then we pushed the master multiplier to 1.3. Going higher didn't improve response, so we left it there. And for final tweaks, feed forward at 1.0 worked best. Anti-gravity at 10 cured throttle spike nose dips, and dynamic idle at 22 gave much better prop wash handling. And now it was ready to fly. Here is some footage I captured with it so far. Honestly, I'm really happy with how this drone turned out. The Blueson ESC runs smooth and delivers plenty of power. The flight controller made the build super easy with enough expandability for more complex setups. And the receiver worked flawlessly as expected. But the biggest surprise, the GPS. Before installing it, I wrapped the wires in grounded copper tape and mounted it away from the O3 air unit to avoid interference. And that's my standard setup for any M10 GPS. But I've never had satellites lock this fast and stay this stable. I gotta say, I'm thoroughly impressed. So far, I've only flown this with the 6S2200 and a 3300 mAh LiPo. The 3300 gives me well over 10 minutes of flight time, plenty to push further than I've ever could with a 5-inch rig, and it really boosts flight confidence. While a bigger drone does feel a bit more sluggish compared to a 5-inch, it still packs plenty of punch and overall feels solid in the air, so flying it is a blast. Down the road, I'm planning to try some lithium-ion packs for even longer flights, and maybe eventually upgrade to the DJI 4 system. SEQURE was new to me before this build, but now I can confidently see myself using their parts again for future build projects. I'm also really happy with the whole project of finally building my first 7-inch, and I'm very excited to take it on many more mountain adventures and cinematic flights. I'm TrickyFPV, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.